Good morning, everybody. Here you go. Oh, happy December 22nd, everybody. My God, I'll tell you, it feels like it was just December 1st. And it feels like there was so much time left before Christmas. And then it's like, holy shit. Holy shit. Well, no, I don't deliver. Only on one night a year. I'll tell you, this was one of those weekends. Shit. There was so much that happened over the weekend on this app. And I kept saying, oh, I should go on. But I was like, I was having such a nice time with my family, doing final errands for the holidays and watching some college football, all that kind of stuff. And I just, weekends I'm not a big fan of going live on the weekends, unless, something dire happens, because I like to still try to keep that, weekend open, for my son and stuff. Holy crap, though. And I know that I'm going to forget stuff. And I want to say as of probably Friday night, when shit started popping, I'm like, I should write this stuff down because I'm going to forget it. And I didn't, of course. So, if I forget anything, I'm sure somebody will remind me in the comments. So, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody, those of you that celebrate Hanukkah, I think tonight's the last night. Happy Hanukkah to all my friends who celebrate. And I hope it was a very happy time for you and your families. People that are about to get into the Christmas holiday with people coming over and all that. I hope y'all enjoy yours. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't believe this song came out in '81. 81. Jesus. Um, where to start? I mean, there's so much. There's so much that happened. Ugh. I guess we could kind of start where I left off. Last time I was live and I made a video about it. So, we have all been following the Jen situation in that group. And, people we all knew, right? We all knew what was going to happen with Jen. I pegged it. We all pegged it a while back. Am I saying I? We all did. Her finding a landing zone over in Florida Man's World. And we knew eventually shit would hit the fan with that. And if we take a look at kind of the timeline, okay? So there's the dry bagging for groceries with FWA. There's the dry bagging for groceries for Megan. And Megan said, oh, I'm going to send them. And then there's the dry bagging for Christmas stuff. And lo and behold, Monster got them for her. And then, Florida Man. And I honestly do believe that the only reason why Florida Man is doing this is because somehow he wanted to get to me by supporting Jen, which is absolutely stupid because, as I've said multiple times, everybody should be sending every penny to Jen. Everybody should. All the people over there, all their broke asses should be sending her money because they're her friend and she's in need. I mean, we find out now OG should have been sending her some of the thousands of dollars that she stole from Farrah. But we'll talk about that a little later. But isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that as soon as people start having questions about Jen or making comments about Jen. Now, I'm talking about Amanda's live, okay? There were people in her live that were saying that they were sick of Jen. They were sick of her asking for money. They were sick of her constantly expecting somebody to drop everything to talk to her. And we all know how that worked with Jen. Okay, we all know that that was part of her thing. Like a spoiled little baby, she would call you and be like, I need to talk to you now. And, I'll reiterate, I only spoke to her once and it was on a text now number because I don't trust her. Oh, I'm in the kitchen. This is real tile and sheetrock. I don't trust Jen with my phone number and I never gave it to her. So I talked to her once. And I can't tell you how many times after that one time where I got these emails from her saying, I need to talk to you right now. It's an emergency. And I knew what that was. That's always bullshit. So I was like, nah, you can, tell me what's going on here. No, I can't. I need to talk to you. No, not going to happen. And if she kept pushing it, I just would ignore her emails. Because I knew what was coming after that. It was the, I need to talk to you. It's an emergency. And then you don't call her. And then it's going to be, I'm going to off myself. If you say, no, I'm not going to, or I can't talk or anything like that. And lo and behold, she's still been doing that. She's still been doing that. Still been doing that. So y'all want to sit over in different places and say that Jen has changed? You're full of shit, because she hasn't. She's doing the same stuff. I find it funny, too, how Florida Man said about the GoFundMe and all that. Set up a GoFundMe. Not nearly getting as much as I raised, by the way, to put his ass in jail. But did the GoFundMe. And it was up for over a week. She only got $200. And I also find it interesting how none of them had the balls to put their real names. Isn't that weird? Why is that? Why is that? Because they knew it was fucking gross that they were sending money to Florida Man to supposedly give to Jen? Seriously? People really think that was going to happen, huh? And then Florida Man says last week, well, you know, for this time only, I'm going to be doubling the GoFundMe. So I'll be doubling it up to $250. And then all of a sudden, this mysterious $50 shows up. Anonymous. Again. And then, all of a sudden, he says he's closing it down. And he's going to be sending the money to Jen. I know, Ruby. It's ridiculous. You even get it, right? You get it, right? Of course, now that I sit down, Ruby wants me to get up. Now she's hungry, of course. So, Florida Man, you're going to need to show receipts of you sending that money to Jen. And, I mean, everybody knows what her Cash App and all that is, so you don't even have to black it out. But I'm sure there are a lot of people besides myself that would like to see actually that $500 going to Jen. I want to pull up some clips here. Oh boy, oh boy. Hold on, Rubes. Let me see here.
Just wait for it.
Hold on, Rubes.
Well, she said that she has like a cousin or something just now that, you know, is a fucking sheriff.
Oh, come on. Ruby!
That night,
Zip it.
I really did. And you guys came through.
Well, my inbox says always opening.
Okay, so this is Amanda and Queen Witch and somebody, I think OG, and there's somebody in there named Miss Justice. Now, I don't know if you guys remember her. Miss Justice has changed her name a number of times on TikTok. I knew her when her name was Crime Jewel. Her name was Crime Jewel, and she used to come into my lives all the time. So, I'm not even going to get into the whole story, but this is, she's the one who made a video about how she didn't like me anymore. Scammy pussy. Hold on, I'm pulling up here. You know, he claimed to refund everyone the $250, and he was going to send her the $250 from his pocket. Okay, thank you. So then he lied about a GoFundMe then, right? So he lied about it. He said it was going to be $500. He was going to send her $500, but now he's refunding all of it and only giving her $250. Wow. That's weird. Imagine lying on a GoFundMe and on live for everybody, saying that you're going to double it. Strange. Hold on, I'm feeding the poop. Why refunding? Well, I have my theories. For instance, my theory is he just came out last night with information that OG scammed somebody and stole a lot of money from somebody on the app and was given a lot of money from somebody on the app. And we'll get to that clip. I mean, that's like clip 3 here. I mean, there's a lot to talk about today. So I want to play this is when they start talking about Jen, and this was in Amanda's live on the 19th.
I need to talk. I will say Wednesdays and Thursdays I sleep, and a little bit on Friday I sleep during the day.
Hold on, I got to get back just a little bit. I hate when you go through a link for YouTube.
And she expected Miss Justice to drop everything and call, right? Here's my thing. Like, I'm trying to say this without being so mean, right?
Girl, you better hurry up and fucking say it before I do.
Right. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate
I like Jen and all, don't get me wrong, but I'm just so sick of this pity party.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm sick of the pity party.
If
nobody cared about her, nobody would be helping her with her wish list. Nobody be doing this and that. Nobody would take time out of their day to talk to her and chill out. Like I'm not being mean. I like Jen. Don't get me wrong, but I'm over the pity party.
Same.
I feel that a lot of people have gone out of their way to help her and be there for her and everything. So I'm kind of confused at where she's lacking from people.
That part. So
Thank you.
I
will say,
and that's just like I said. That's my opinion. But
Right, we all have an opinion. I mean, right. But my thing is if you still need me, reapproach differently, and I'll be there. I'll be there for you.
keep in mind, Miss Justice was having a hard time the other night, so I jumped out of Florida Man's box so her and I could talk.
Thank you, babe. Yeah, you did.
Talking, my son called. Well, we know that obviously our kids come first, and then I got late and I didn't want to try to call her back. You don't see her fucking throwing a fit. It's like,
Nope.
Go back to her.
Nope, I appreciated people just reaching out to me, and I don't trust people with phone numbers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't want my life dragged all over this internet because I've been through enough in it, as most of us have.
You're welcome, Sarah. But my feeling on the whole thing is, and everyone has known basically how far I, went with Jen. I've always said I've never gave her my phone number. I've never shared text messages or phone calls. I've always dealt with her through like inboxing here on TikTok or here on a live setting. And I've always, hell yeah, I'm going to try and motivate anybody, period. If they want to do better and succeed in their life, absolutely. I'm going to, try and motivate her and push her to do the right thing.
Now, just for context, and for a timeline in your head, the day before this was Megan's live when she talked about CPS going to her house. And Jen went up in a box and had the fake, oh my God, I'm going to start crying, and talked about how the dog warden went to her place or something, okay? And as I had said, I think it was Smash's live that, are you fucking kidding me? Like, Megan has had a traumatic thing. And I've given you what I feel about these assholes calling CPS and all that stuff for no reason. But Jen goes up there on Megan's platform and starts boohooing about herself. Now, after that live, this was the next evening now, this live in Amanda's. And I think a lot of people that were in the live felt this. Stop it, Ruby. Stop. Felt the same way about Jen kind of taking all the attention away from a real issue and bringing it back on her own, on herself. So this was their response to, up to that point, what was going on with Jen and what she was doing on here. So, oh, what the heck?
Sure to do the right thing, absolutely, because I haven't seen her begging on the app. I've known she has a job. She was doing the right stuff. But absolutely. You can't move from, and this is what I don't understand, you can't move from one end of the spectrum from where she was, let's say, 2 years ago to now she's doing better, and she's in the middle of doing that right now. She's in the middle of trying to understand that, and then just throw somebody to the other end of the spectrum to where you're just lavishing them with everything. She's still, you got to meet them in the middle.
Right.
She's still here in the middle, trying to still lean into having joy and having people to talk to, people to connect with, because she's still in the middle or in the beginning, whatever, of her recovery.
Gross.
So she's still trying to learn how to do how to socialize and get along. And it's, you can't go from one extreme to the next. You can't just turn over a treasure chest full of gold coins onto her and just lavish, because that's going to be, she's going to fail.
Well, I mean,
real quick, Missy before Reels 81. Do you have proof of that?
and also that's where your acclamation comes in, right? Doing those whatever.
But
Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
1 second, Nikki. 1 second, because I don't want this comment just to go by. I would really like to know, and I'm not coming at you. I would just really like to know if you have proof of that.
I just really want to
I've seen
say
that too.
thank you to OG, who's in the box, and my Miss Polly Pocket for the other night, because I really needed people that night. I really did. And you guys came through.
Well, my inbox says always open if anybody needs to talk. My inbox start doing affirmations. She needs to start, therapy, whatever, because at this point,
Any of my mods that are in here, if there's a comment that I need to see, if you wouldn't mind posting it, if it's muy importante, because I'm kind of going back and forth there.
Same, no one cares, and I don't get where she gets that, because everybody's went out of their way. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I call that the Eeyore mindset. The woe is me.
Ha! Now, that's an interesting comment by OG. That might come back to haunt her. The woe is me.
We all went out of our way. We've gone out of our way for her. And, there's sometimes, I'm like, ugh.
I'll be honest. I have not, because not for any other reason than I'm open about this. Christmas time, I focus on children.
Ha!
What's what she about?
Ha!
Now, if she needs food, that's one thing. But we had 9 families off this app that had nothing for Christmas for their kids.
Hey, pause.
Hey there.
Oh.
Hey, I just want to.
By the way, and I don't care if any of you follow OG or support her. If anybody sent OG money, you may want to reach out to somebody. Because it seems as though, according to Florida Man, and I'm going to play that later, it seems as though, according to what Florida Man says, she was collecting money for an angel tree family with 7 kids and all this other stuff. OG, what's her name? OG Boss Lady was her old name, I believe. Everybody, I think, just knows her as OG. According to what Mike said, and remember, this is Mike, so, we know that he's either lying or there's a tad bit of truth in it, but concocts a big lie. So, take it for what it is. According to him, she was collecting money for this family that she supposedly was buying angel tree stuff for, and she never sent it. I don't know about that. I really don't, but we'll get to his recording in a minute. But let's finish the whole Jen thing.
Say something. And I do agree with what everybody's saying. And she rarely reaches out to me on the back end. So I don't know what you guys are going through. But we do need to keep in mind that Scammy is still doing lives with 200, 300, 400 people in there beating Jen down. She did it today.
Beating Jen down, putting the truth out about Jen and her lies is not beating Jen down. And y'all want to keep riding with that, that's fine. But I guarantee you already the wheels are coming off the bus over there. And if they want to keep saying that I'm beating Jen down, you can keep living in that lie and make yourselves feel better as to why you've been supporting Jen, because that's what you think I've been doing. But in actuality, it's not. Putting the truth out about Jen so people who need to know it can hear it, or people that know it can verify it. That's not beating down. So, nice try on that one, though.
But
You know, and
here's my thing, pause, and I get that, right? I get it. At what point do you block and just stop watching? At
yeah.
what point do you tell people stop sending me that stuff?
Well, I know, but and I totally get that, but we don't know what.
Blah, blah, blah. So that was pause to the wall, putting in her 2 cents. And nobody cares. But, so there's all of this, okay? All these people, are talking about how they're sick of the, oh, woe is me. They're sick of the pity party. They're sick of this, sick of that, okay? Reds was in there talking about it. She got in the box. A bunch of people were pretty much just saying what people have been saying for years. That they're sick of Jen doing this. And I don't know why it took them that long. I mean, it's not like this is new at all. It's been happening for a long time. But, so, after that, lo and behold, the next night, Florida Man goes live. And Florida Man pretty much yells at all the people that were in Amanda's box and live bashing on Jen. Exactly. They weaponized Jen to come for you. Yep, they did. I said that months ago where they were using her. They're using you to try to tarnish my reputation. I proved to you that she lied about a number of different topics, and it didn't work. So now it's like she is damaged goods, and he's going to push her to the side. He never gave a shit about Jen. What he cared about doing is getting Jen in a box over there because he thought that I was going to get pissed off. Now, that would be like if Bougie and Florida Man actually had issues, and there was that fake live where Florida Man put all this stuff out. Oh, I'm gonna blow the whistle on Bougie and this and that. That would be if that was really true. If I invited Bougie to come into my lives and join boxes and tell us all the dirt about that shit. When that happens, I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear anything from those people. You are who you are friends with on the app. You are the people that you bring up in boxes, and vice versa. So Florida Man has the live, and he's talking about how he's very disappointed in so many people about trashing on Jen and all that. And you know what the most fucking embarrassing thing was? Many of those women, when they were being called out by Daddy, went in a box and were like, well, we did this because... Like, having to explain why they did what they said to Daddy. You have Queen Witch totally backtracking. Most of what she did say about Jen was coming from a perspective of recovery. But, she said, oh, I've told you about what I've said about John. And then Reds came in there and, and all these people, like trying to smooth things over with Daddy Florida Man. Anybody on this app that has to report to somebody and apologize is ridiculous. For something like that, for being able to speak their mind in somebody else's live and say how they felt. I feel like I'm tired of her pity party. I feel like Jen does this X, Y, and Z, and I feel like this because, and then he shits on all of them, saying, pretty much F you. I don't care how you feel about Jen. I don't care emotionally how you feel about Jen. You were wrong. People can have their opinions. I agree. Yep, I agree. And I'm not going to say names to people that are making comments because we know there's people watching, I'm sure, from the outside. And no, I still don't know how you could see people on the outside. I still haven't figured that out. But I'm not going to say names. Exactly. It's like I remember, as a kid, I hear my dad's voice, Amy, come over here, please. And I knew I was in trouble. You know that tone of voice. I was like, I'd have to, go find my dad and sit down, what's up? And then, he'd scold me for something. Oh, yeah, the middle name, too. Yep. So, yesterday, over the weekend, I kept my eye on the tickety talk. A lot of people were sending me messages. A lot of people were sending me screenshots of comments made, which some of them were very interesting. People sent me messages. This person's on live. You got to go watch what's going on. So as I was doing some work, I watched a little of MJ's live. That was interesting. I'm sure everybody is aware of the whole Whitty situation. I'm not going to get into that, but all you need to know is a couple of nights ago, she was definitely inebriated and said the N-word, and that was a big part of MJ's live yesterday. And then FWA was in there. And, one of the things that I find so freaking hilarious is, Florida Man is going after FWA. And Florida Man posts her criminal record and all that, which I find is so funny because he's calling somebody out for her criminal record. And that there doesn't even need to be a punchline for that. I mean, come on now. Come on now. But one of the best things about the live yesterday. It was when FWA was in there. And Billie Jean Big Balls Amanda goes in there with her condescending attitude. I hate when she talks like that. When she is trying to act like, she's so much smarter and knowledgeable than everybody else. And she starts pronouncing every single word by syllables. And Amanda goes in a box and says that FWA is one of the biggest bullies on the app. And as you can imagine, I started cracking up. So she starts going after FWA, doing the same thing she's calling Amanda out for, which is being a bully. And MJ's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're calling her a bully, but you're doing the same thing right now. You're doing the same thing to her. And what was her defense? Well, she did it. She did it to people. She did it to people? So that's okay? Oh my God, that is a great name, Ursula. I think that's, yeah. Ursula. That's what she'll go by from now on. That's a good one. But Amanda's trying to make a point, and I thought it was fucking hilarious because lo and behold, what finally happens? They drop her from a box. Which, quite honestly, is absolutely perfect. Because that's the way it should have been handled. Now, I'm trying to find... Hold on a minute. I'm going to mute for a minute. Hold on. I'm trying to find a clip. I don't know if I posted it here or not. It was of Amanda absolutely going off on FWA in a live. I don't think I have it. Going off on FWA, being really horrible, saying a lot of terrible things. And then she goes in a box yesterday and claims that FWA is the biggest bully. I was like, holy crap. Remember, guys, I always say, let them talk. Let them talk, because they end up saying something that doesn't align with what they said a few nights before. And there it was. Is that it? No, that's not it. Oh yeah, Peppy. And you like that? That's the thing that's so funny, when Mikey started going after Amanda a couple nights ago, okay, saying that he wants to know everything about her. He wants to get a picture of her. I know. I don't want a picture of her either, Ruby. I want to know everything about her, this and that. And all of a sudden, she's over there saying, I don't know why he's doing this to me. I've never talked about him. This is ridiculous. Oh, he's coming after the wrong person. Really? Hypocrisy. As Amanda has been in Florida Man's lives, how many times when he's gone after people just because he doesn't like them? Interesting. Okay, let me pull up here. So last night comes around, and all of a sudden, it comes out. Florida Man has a live on about OG. About OG stealing money from somebody named Farah. I think so. I think Ursula is concerned about that, Georgie. Absolutely. So let me get my video up here. Here's an interesting screenshot I got. I guess Snark was live this morning, and she was talking about the whole OG thing. And lo and behold, guess who's in the chat? That would be Florida Man. And Florida Man says, I got off the phone with Snark, talked to a couple people, and then Judge Truth, and then Farah. So Florida Man, as usual, what he does is anybody who is friends with the person he's going after, he contacts them to bash on the person. Now, I am not saying that I agree with what OG did, if it's true, which it sounds like it pretty much is true. And I'm going to play that part of that live so you can hear it. But I find it interesting. That he has to reach out to all these people that OG may or may not be friends with, just to let them know what she did. Now, I want to play this. I want to play Florida Man's live where he was talking about OG, because you guys can hear it right from him. And I'm going to pause it a couple times just to point things out that I think are pretty freaking hilarious.
Hey, Kelly.
I'm going to fast forward through stuff because he doesn't get started.
Both and all the ways that it's going to be presented. First, I would like to start out with.
And Mikey, I'm just going to say, there were some times that it did not sound like you were lighting a cigarette. Just saying.
This is Tattoos and Cadillacs new account.
Yeah, okay.
It's wild.
Yeah. Okay.
It's self-exposure. From PayPal. People that no matter how close you are to me, no matter how much I might like you, that if you were doing something wrong, I am going to tell on the ass. OG has been taking advantage.
Don't you love that? How he's so dramatic. I'm going to tell on your ass. OG has been.
Farah. I have all of the transactions from PayPal, from Cash App, and from her bank. I have all of them. I have all the counterfeit invoices that she tried to unlock her Square account with. OG's Square account was locked because she was manually entering Farah's card number on her Square account, charging her for nails, and then turning around and doing a double charge for a different amount total, and telling Farah the first amount declined.
Now, let's discuss this for a minute, okay? Wasn't there something fishy that OG was doing about a year ago with collecting money and supposedly money not going to where it was, or things not being sent after people bought stuff? Something fishy was with money. I mean, I remember something vaguely about that, and I remember it all blew up, and all of a sudden, Florida Man, or all of a sudden, OG disappears from TikTok for a while, only to come back when Florida Man starts the apology tour character rebuilding campaign on her. Farrah is somebody that goes into FM's lives a lot and Snark's lives a lot. She gifts a lot of people. That kind of stuff. But so, the character cleanse, as I like to call it, because that's what Florida Man does with crummy people. OG got back on and got into the good graces of people again. Only to do the same thing again. Now, what I find funny is this, and I cannot wait for Monster to talk about this on her next live. Because if you remember correctly, Monster said to me that she is holding me responsible, or for some of the responsibility of that woman Stacy losing money to Guardians of Valor because I platformed him in a box. And how she can connect those dots, only Monster knows. But she blamed me for that, saying that because I platformed Guardians, that it was my fault. So, Monster, I think you need to call Farrah, or better yet, you need to go on a live and you need to call Florida Man out, since he did her character wash and made it okay for OG to be on TikTok and have support again and get in tight with a group of people. And lo and behold, the money that Mike says that she took from Farrah, that would mean that Florida Man's responsible for that. So I'm going to wait anxiously for that, Monster, because you can't have it both ways. So you got two choices. You can either go on live and say that you misspoke and it was not my fault, or you can call Mike out for him and say it was his fault. Either way would make me happy. But you won't do it because you're trash. Just saying.
Here's one of the fake invoices that she sent to Square. 12/5/2025. Farrah did not owe OG $30,000 for anything. Where that $30,000 number came from was this invoice right here that she created on December 16th.
And oh, by the way,
on the 5th.
Mike admits that he's known about this since December 7th. December 7th. So he waited how long? Almost 2 weeks before he put this information out. I'm sure since December 7th and last night, there were people that sent her money. So then that would really mean that Florida Man is responsible for that, right? In Monster's theory, he knew about it for almost 2 weeks and didn't warn anybody. He didn't have this grandiose live about, blowing the whistle on what OG was doing behind the scenes. He knew about it. But you want to fucking blame me for Guardians of Valor getting money from Stacy when I didn't even know about it? Please.
At the 15th. This right here is the invoice that she created to try to unlock that money from Square that she was stealing from Farah. Notice the invoice number 000001. This is real. Why y'all think I've been acting weird with OG? Not really weird, but just kind of like watching, kind of doing my thing, letting her tell on herself. Do you guys know what this invoice is for? Oh no, this is real, monster. This invoice is for $30,000 for a platinum wedding package for 2/14/2027 from OG to Farah. I'm going to get to the part where she says she worked for Farah. Farah doesn't have a wedding coming up.
Hey, Ruby.
Farah's not paying the wedding package. This is what OG created to send to Square to try to get her money unlocked. We're going to get to transactions. One thing at a time, everybody. I know there's questions.
Yeah, I have some questions, Mike. Number one, why didn't you tell people ahead of time? Why didn't you tell people 2 weeks ago that this was going on? You know, it's funny because I know OG was in Truth's Live yesterday for quite a while. And they were talking about people sending people money on this app. And OG said something paraphrasing like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if people send people money on this app. Really? Well, we know why now you brought that up. And, you know, the other thing that I always want to, I always want to point out is that Mike has said numerous times, getting back to the whole Jen thing and other situations, you can't make people send you money. He said that a lot. You can't, Ruby, you can't make people send people money. So he's going to talk about how OG was sent gifts on TikTok and was sent money by Farah on her own. But then he said numerous times, you can't make people send people money. Personally, I don't care if it was a good friend of mine, but if I knew that somebody was involved in shady shit financially a year ago, and now all this person is wanting money, yeah, it wouldn't happen. Because I wouldn't trust the person. So, you know, if Farah sent her money, you know what? That's on her. You know, if OG lied about it to get the money, I mean, how many times do we say don't send people money on this app? So whose fault is it? Is it Farah's fault for sending her money? Or is it OG's fault for asking for money? I don't really care who you pick here. It's very hard. You know, when Mike does these lives, it's never truly organized well. And I listened to this last night for a little of it, and he bounces all over the place, from money that was sent to OG to money that she tried to take to receipts that OG made up for money that, you know, were fake, meaning that, you know, Farah didn't order anything. It was very confusing. So, you know, you may want to grab a pen and a piece of paper and jot things down and see if it makes sense, you know?
she made this invoice to send it to
Stop
Square.
the BS. Let me know
this
about
is
that
what
after
all
this, okay?
Money is payments for. It didn't work. The invoice isn't even done right. Remaining balance after payments. Look at the 20,086 at the bottom of that, and then the zero. Subtotal total due $30,000. She didn't even do the math on the fucking invoice right. Let's get to some messages where OG patched Farrah through to Square. I'll tell everybody how this all came about when I get done doing this. I've been watching OG and Farrah since December 7th. Block my full name. If the mods can fix the boxes, please. Thank you. Are pushing her to finish the job this time. Meaning, the last year, OG says that she feels like me and Bougie are pushing her to finish the job this time. Meaning, the last time that she lied and said she attempted on her life and was on the app on a backup account and pretended to know everything because her husband was on the app telling her everything from a hospital bed where she pretended to attempt to take her life. It's because her ass got checked on some shit last time too. She's going to run around the app and say, they caused me to make an attempt again. That's what she says every time she's called out on this shit.
Who does that sound like? Who does that sound like? A couple names come to my mind, and it's a couple people that sit with Florida Man, and it's a couple people that Florida Man never called out for doing the same thing. Isn't that fucking weird? So it's okay for them, but not for anybody else. You can do this shit if you're good friends with Florida Man, and he's never going to call you out on it. But all of a sudden, when it's somebody that he doesn't like, come on.
Personally, I don't give a fuck. To be blunt, say what you want, OG. You're caught.
So he's pretty much saying that he doesn't care if OG does it or not. He could care less. Isn't that nice? Now, that's one thing that none of us have ever said about Jen when she's threatened to do that. None of us have ever said, well, I hope she does it because I don't give a shit. What?
Here is how she got caught. I was texting Farrah today. Farrah added me to a group chat with her and OG through text. And I had spoken to both of them. I read the whole text between Farrah and somebody else talking about what Dora had done to her and how Dora took advantage of her. Now, in Farrah's situation, I can't do anything about gifting. You know, we can warn people, hey, don't gift. She's good. She's mad, for sure. Disappointed because she really thought OG was her friend.
By the way, Farrah, just found out she had cancer too, and she let everybody know.
Bougie. She gonna yell at me now. I called her OG.
I'll let it slide.
So to say the fallout might be real this time. So when Farrah added me to this chat, OG was surprised that I knew Farrah, that Farrah had my phone number. Surprise, most of you have my phone number. If you don't, just ask for it. I mean, hell, 90% of the time, I have to give you my phone number so I can talk to you to make sure you're not one of them weird bitches following me around. So yeah, most of you have my number. So when I was texting Farrah about it earlier, I went to the group chat and I did a thumbs up on one of the messages while I was watching OG.
I don't know, London.
Set in a box.
I don't know.
And Farrah mistakenly sent a text message that didn't even say anything bad to that group chat, but it let OG know that I knew. I watched OG suddenly pause, come back, and drop from that box. And then I told Farrah that she was texting in the wrong group, and I already let Farrah know what I did. Because I just wanted to fuck with OG a little bit on that one, because it was coming out. No, this is today. This just happened today. Well, yesterday, since it's after midnight. I've never seen somebody pause, check a message, and drop from the box so quickly. Must have been very disheartening to see that come through. Here's some more messages. OG says, I didn't leave anything. I don't know what that's about. I kicked her from that group after I seen her drop. To be an asshole. OG's not blocked. She can come in and take a box. Just like she could have last night, because she knew it was coming last night. That's why she went live with her Cash App, with Farrah's story about the family that Farrah adopted, because Farrah adopted a family from Angel Tree, the actual company, with 7 kids. But somehow on the 20th, she's up live collecting money on Cash App for a wish list, where she could have just shared a wish list. Oh yeah, me and Bougie are setting her up for what? Exactly. That's repeated many times. And then she lied to Farrah and said she received a really fucked up call. She said she's not going to say who.
Ruby,
but I was told
stop it.
That you told FM that I have scammed you for over thousands of dollars. Smiles for days. I don't care. She's going to say she tried to hurt herself, but I don't really care. If you do stuff like this and getting called out is why you hurt yourself, or tell people that you do for sympathy, you're a gross motherfucker just like you were last time. It's coming out.
Isn't that weird? Diva, I'm trying to wrap gifts here, and trying to wrap gifts with a beagle when you have tags and boxes and tissue paper and scissors and tape is impossible. Impossible. Which is why you keep hearing me say no. But let's go on. So, guys, remember what he just said. If you're getting called out and you claim that you're going to do something, there's no sympathy for you. Okay, good to know.
Farrah doesn't deserve to be taken advantage of for over $10,000. Okay? Because it's over $10,000. The woman has cancer. And the woman takes cancer medications that makes her foggy, sleep a lot, and OG took advantage of that.
Well. So, in a nutshell, Mr. Hypocritical, morally challenged, says that Farrah is dealing with cancer, which is terrible. And I do hope that treatment, whatever she's going through, will help. I really don't know her. But my point to it is this. OG took money from a cancer patient. Who does that sound like? Taking money from cancer victims. Taking money from... Oh, that's right. You mean when Florida man was arrested for stealing money from cancer patients and victims? Really? Remember the candy boxes where he went to those different restaurants and walked in and took a box with money in it and candy, and not only was he making light of it, but he even said that he ate the candy in his van. Making light of cancer, making fun of... Oh, you mean when Jen twice has said she had cancer, but she never had cancer? Family confirmed she never had cancer. For the people over there that still support him and listen, you guys are the biggest bunch of effing losers with absolutely no critical thinking skills of your own. Because you let him sit over here and do this shit and say this shit, not calling him out for his own bad behavior, not calling Jen out for her bad behavior. You believe everything Mike's saying now because now you're on a hate train against OG. But none of you have the balls to get up in a box and say, you know what, Mike, listen, I followed you for a long time. I've listened to you for a long time. But you're calling OG out for doing the same shit that you've done, that Jen has done, that others do on this app that support you, but you never call them out. Why is that?
I don't worry about OG. Yes, over $10,000. And this is just fair. And this is why this has to come out. Because if you sent money to her Cash App for any of those wish lists, you got taken. Sammy, you got taken. Alyssa got taken.
Now, do you think maybe, Florida man, these people sent her money because you platformed her and you washed up her background and the shitty things that she reportedly did a year ago and people believed her because of you?
And those are the people that I'm sure a lot more of you have gotten taken. Yeah, Sammy, when you were asked to send Alyssa money through Venmo, what was that for? Was that because OG's PayPal was down? No, the card that was sent to Alyssa was OG's card. But when OG went to Farrah and said, Alyssa paid so many bills off of my card and she spent too much, well, that got shut down real quick because Alyssa didn't spend a dime off of that card because it was a setup. Wendy, there was very few real wish lists. A lot of the wish lists were people that OG knew. If any of the wish lists were in Michigan, Ohio, or Pennsylvania, the destination, it was probably people that OG knew that she was going to either profit off of what was gotten or, try to make herself look good. Hypocrite finder? Absolutely not. We're not going to talk about that because I don't have the details. And Hypocrite finder is OG, by the way, because that's the account that she was on the last time she fake attempted. Coming on your real account. Talk your shit with your full chest. Because you're caught. Why would you tell Farrah that you were told by somebody that you scammed her out of thousands of dollars when I didn't even tell Bougie that? Bougie, when are you finding out about this?
I found out this stuff with Farrah just now.
Reds, we've been texting for the last couple of days, and you were a little angry with me about, speaking up for the whole Jen thing. But my target was OG. It wasn't anything else. I respected what
The target was OG. Why? Because she spoke her mind and said she's sick of the Jen, oh woe is me pity party. So that's why you went after her. So if OG never did that, would you just be sitting on this information still? If she was the target. Because you already sat on it for almost 2 weeks while people were probably still sending her money because nobody knew she was doing this bullshit. But he just said it himself. He just said the target was OG. You know, it was funny. Cartel went in his live last night, and it's later on, I believe. And she came out and said something very, very smart, okay, to FM. It's the first time I've ever heard anybody really hold his feet to the fire for anything. And she said, so let me get this straight, Florida man. Do you have like burn files on everybody that you're close to? And when they do something you don't like, all of a sudden you just put out all this information on them? You heard that, right? I mean, because that's pretty much what he just admitted to. He just said the whole thing was going after OG. Now, it's just very ironic that he goes after OG the night after he has a live about Jen, and people go up to him and apologize. I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry I disappointed you. No more wire hangers. And OG was not in that live, from what I understand. And it's like the way he thinks is, okay, OG didn't come to the live. F her. F her. I'm putting all the information out, which, again, should have come out on December 7th or 8th. Because I'm sure she collected money since then from people. Innocent victims. And Florida man knew that she was doing this shit, lying to people, and he waited 2 weeks. Got it.
I said I respected what Mitch said, but the fact that OG was up there and admittedly didn't know anything about her or anything about the situation, she had no right to speak on it. What she was doing was trying to manipulate all of you.
Yeah.
So for when something like this came out,
yeah,
it could be blamed that, I'm just mad that people were speaking out about that.
Because that's exactly what it is, you fucking moron. Listen, your chat GPT freaking logic may work on the morons over there that listen to your bullshit and believe every word you say. That's exactly what it is, though. Because you just admitted it a couple minutes ago in the recording. Jesus Christ, I'll tell you.
And I had this, but I didn't even tell Reds about it. And I tell Reds most things. Nobody knew about this until right now. Not even Snark. Not Breezy. Not Spread. Not Monster. Not Mush. Not Mittens. Not Trouble. Not Artie. Not Nikki. Nobody. Right, Nikki. I wasn't.
Snark's live this AM wants proof OG sent money to 7 kids or 1 kid. Well, guess what, Snark? You know how that works? You know how that works? If that's what Snark said, that she would like proof, she would like receipts of what money was used for. Guess what, Snark? Using your own paraphrase words, you don't owe nothing to nobody. I don't owe nothing to nobody. I'm not going to show receipts. I don't need to show a fuck thing because none of you even sent me money. And because of that, I don't owe you a fuck thing. You C word. And by the way, guys, Merry Christmas! It's a celebration.
With you. You were on the recovery part. Amanda was on the being real part. Mitch was being real. Everybody was saying their feelings. The problem I had was with OG continuing it because the conversation ended and then OG picked it back up and then OG picked it back up and then OG is the one that brought it up. To the 21 of you looking at the window, I know one of your asses is OG. Get the fuck in here. Take a box. And she goes on to say that she's been illegally using her credit card. Nobody ever put that accusation out there about OG. She got a guilty conscience and told fucking Farrah. And this is why this exposure live is about me. You might look at me and you might say, well, you're doing something a little weird. Trust the process every single time because they tell on themselves every single time. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, this live is about you. This live is about him trying to save his effing face because he knew about this happening for a while and didn't put it out there. So now he's going to be a hero. And he's going to put the information out about OG. Oh, she scammed Farrah out of this money. She got over $10,000, which, believe me, I'm not condoning it. He's not doing this to show that, oh, well, if one of my own people do something bad, I'm going to call them out for it. Because, you know, I'm a transparent guy and I keep everything up front and I tell... Bullshit! You've had the information for 2 weeks and you didn't put it out there. This is all for you to save fucking face because it was going to come out somewhere and you didn't want people saying, Florida Man knew about this 2 weeks ago. He never said anything. This is all to save face. Nothing to do with being a stand-up guy and showing how he's so fair with even people that support him. That's a bunch of crap.
Here's more. Oh, well, that's the same one. And all your cards are locked up because of... Now, I didn't even know Farrah's cards were locked up until Farrah told me today. Right here, she says she hasn't done anything but what Farrah's asked her to do. Did you know that OG is the one that came up with the idea to be Farrah's assistant? You're getting brought up because that's how I figured out that OG was in it for attention. And she was trying to platform off of you. She was trying to take advantage of people's natural, distrust of you. And try to position herself in a position to where when this came out, people close to me like Amanda and Mitch and everybody over there would be like, well, we believe Bougie. We think you're just mad that she spoke about Jen. Which is not the case at all. needed an assistant. If any of you get the idea to reach out to Farrah and say that you'll be her assistant, I will drag you endlessly with OG. Don't. She doesn't need an assistant off of TikTok, okay? She doesn't need any more people taking advantage of her for money, okay? So don't. All of you.
Interesting.
Farrah does not have to pay anybody to be her friend.
I hope
Farrah
so.
is good
Itsy
enough
bitsy.
as
I
she
hope
exists.
so.
Tapping the damn screen or not at all. Just commenting in the comments, giving her opinion. Nobody needs Farrah's money for Farrah to be okay to be around.
Yep.
Because she is just
Absolutely, Breezy.
Without any financial anything. Her videos are good.
I don't know. I don't know why maybe the cops have been called. I don't know.
She makes fun videos. Her and her husband.
Yeah, I've heard that Farrah is a heavy gifter. I mean, Florida Man says that. In fact, I think he puts out there, if he hasn't already, that Farrah had gifted her over $1,500 in gifts on TikTok. I know she used to send snark gifts all the time. I don't know if she's still in there. I really don't care. I hope she did call the police. I hope Farrah does call the police. You know, the stuff that she willingly gave OG, there's nothing she can do about that. I mean, you know, again, how many times has everybody on this app said, you know, you can't be forced to give money to somebody. You do it on your own. And especially when you've done it a bunch of times, you're not going to get sympathy for anybody from that. But what you will get sympathy for is when somebody tries to hack into your stuff or make fake invoices and that kind of thing.
The messages aren't proving it. I know. Let me skip through all of the messages real quick and just show everybody the transactions. Friday, 425, 210 for prayers, 210 for prayers. Gas hospital nails bought. Xmas 201, another 180. Then we got where payments were requested and PayPal flagged them as fraud. We have more payments. $450 for cat eye nails. Oh, and by the way, the assistant thing, OG made one doctor's appointment for Farrah, and it was for a doctor 4 hours away, and Farrah said that she didn't think that OG knew what she was doing. There was no set price. There was no set nothing. Farrah just kept sending her money, kept sending her money, kept sending her money. Because OG kept saying this, that, or the other. It declined. So you see on December 11th right there, it says last nail set 109.80, and then on December 12th it says shipping for nails 183.46.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Did you know that on her bank statement that I'm not going to show right now, that there's $6,800 charged from her card on Square? That OG said, "Oh, I'll refund you." And you know what she did?
I'm going to tell you what. I think that indeed OG did take advantage of Farrah. Absolutely. Absolutely. My problem is I don't trust Mike. And I think that when he starts throwing out numbers and he doesn't show any proof of it, I think that's when he's bullshitting. So, like, he just made some comment about, oh, do you know that OG, da-da-da-da-da? When he says, did you know, or are you aware? Obviously, we're not fucking aware and we didn't know because you didn't let the information out until now. That's when he's full of shit. And that's when he's lying.
She initiated a refund and canceled it so she could get the refund initiation letter email. So she sent that to Farrah. Farrah called the bank day after day. Hey, is that refund on the way? Couldn't find it. Farrah three-way called with OG. And OG put on a good show. And let's not even get into the TikTok gifts right now, because there's over $1,500 in TikTok gifts that OG has gotten from Farrah alone.
Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that sound for a minute. Listen. Does this sound like a cigarette to him? To you? I mean, I don't sound like that when I have a cigarette. I mean, it could be a bunch of things, right? It could be a lot of things. Maybe it's a COPD breather thing. I don't know, but
there's over $1,500 in TikTok gifts that OG has gotten from Farrah alone.
Listen.
If OG has told you that her square got red flagged, say I in the chat. Okay, OG never did mention nothing about adopting a family until she went live and said, I adopted a family with 7 children for Angel Tree. Here's my Cash App.
And if I'm not mistaken,
that's why I said Alyssa got.
Isn't that the shit she pulled a couple years ago, where she was collecting money from people to help people out, and then all of a sudden, all this information came out about people sending all this money and it not going to the right places or something? I don't know. But Mallory's going off. Let's see what big old calorie.
Y'all gonna turn on me? Turn on me. Okay. What you gonna do? No, it's not fishy. It's kind of like you said that OG saying Florida Man was like setting you up or something was her guilty conscience. No, that was me telling her, OG, this is a setup. You need to stop responding to her because you're going to see all of these on a green screen later. I've seen proof. I've got at least one picture of her. Sorry, I just checked. I got at least one picture from when she screen recorded her fucking payment processor, showing that all the money's going back. But it's not mine to show. It's OG's to show. And I have proof that somebody else told me who that wish list was going to.
Well. Interesting. So, who do you believe? You believe Florida Man. You believe Mallory.
I'm gonna say
You believe Farrah, OG. Just everybody sit and listen.
Oh, I've seen the emails too, Florida Man. I've seen all the emails stating that it's going to take 2 to 7 business days for that money to come back. In real time. She opened her Gmail and showed me in real time all the emails. But here's the thing, okay? You all don't have to fucking believe me. You don't. You didn't believe me with Shannon. You didn't believe me with Petty.
Aww.
There's been a lot of situations where y'all haven't believed me.
Aww.
And where did we end up in all those times you guys didn't fucking believe me?
We still don't like you. That's where we ended up.
I was wrong about OG a year ago. But I will tell you right here, right now, take a good hard look at who Bougie has been throwing all of those passive-aggressive little insults at lately, and how offended she was that Smash let OG into her chat the other night. When Bougie doesn't like somebody, Bougie takes them out. Sorry, Florida Man. I messaged you. I told you. Bougie's using you. That bitch can't stand on her own, too. She blocks somebody the second they actually message her to tell them a problem she had. And by the way, she actually did mock transgendered people. She mocked transgendered people. And she says the N-word. All of those things I thought you were against at one point.
Boom!
All of those things. But she said the N-word on live with Miss Unknown in the fucking box, and you still excused it. She texted it. I don't care if she fucking directed it at the goddamn Queen of fucking England. She texted it. And you still gave Bougie excuses. You still gave her excuse after excuse.
Isn't this a delightful little early Christmas gift? Ah.
And you're going to have to respond in this in message because I'm not giving you a box at this point because I'm really disappointed in you.
I love when everybody starts eating their young.
Did you call her after Farrah sent you all the proof last night? Because I saw a bunch of text messages, but I was on the phone with OG for 5-6 hours last night.
Holy crap, Mallory.
She was realizing in real time that Farrah was setting her up.
Get a life, Mallory.
Setting her up? Did you talk to OG before you went live?
5 to 6 hours.
Send a text message and then kick OG from a group. And then you pretty much turned on her. No, you did that last night when you decided to lie.
Oh!
You did that last night when you decided to lie.
Boom! There it is.
And you did that the second you started to give Bougie excuses.
Whoop! There it is.
Can I ask you something? Do you have proof of the GoFundMe for Jen?
Oh!
Did you ever give her that money?
Oh!
Have you sent it yet?
Mallory coming with a right hook.
By the way, I knew you lied about the GoFundMe and getting all the money from Scammy Claus, so when everybody flooded in here trying to tell me that that was what was going on, I knew that was a lie. That's why I never talked about it.
Yeah, but you never...
Well, someone's texting me right now saying Jen never got money. So either Jen's lying or Florida Man is lying.
Ooh, that's a toss-up. That could go either way, right? Jen lying, Florida
So
Man.
either your precious Jen is lying about you if you sent Jen the money, or you're lying about giving Jen the money. Because I'm getting messages from somebody who knows us all really fucking well. You haven't spoken to Jen. I don't think it takes speaking to fucking Jen.
Oh! Ooh! Oh, here comes Megan.
Hello?
Here comes Megan.
Hi.
Hey.
You okay?
No, I'm not fucking okay because I watched OG go through it last night and I put her through this before and I feel like a fucking piece of shit. And this is the least I can fucking do when I've seen everything. She's not fucking lying.
I don't know exactly what's going on. I've been extremely busy. But Mel, maybe you should edit, honey, and have some conversations with the people that are close to you and love you and support you really fast.
I'm okay. I'm just really...
Yeah, in other words, let's get Mallory off the app so she doesn't keep putting the proof out there. Let's get her off live and tell her that she needs to shut her mouth because Florida man has information on you and is going to let it out. That's the way it usually works out.
Agreement with OG that OG would work for her. And now, literally, Farrah's text messages have been nothing but supportive and loving up until last night at 7:00 when Florida man kicked her out of a group. I'm talking about OG. OG got kicked from a group, and then all of a sudden, Farrah's screaming and yelling. Accusing OG of this, accusing OG of that, telling her she's going to get lawyers involved, she's going to do this, she's going to do that.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No. I literally told OG, stop texting her. These are all going to be on a green screen tonight. So she said, well, hold on, let me do something. And she said to Farrah, like, something about this being for, like, Florida man or something. And Florida man used it and said, this is her guilty conscience, because I never told anybody I was going live. I knew what was going to happen before it happened. I said, OG, these are going to be all over a green screen tonight. Bougie's done with you. She talked shit about you last night on live because she was pissed that you're in Smash's live and nobody else is allowed in there. So now they think you've turned on them. They think you've gone to Smash, so they need you gone.
I picked a bad week to stop sniffing glue.
I can't believe this.
It's fucking ridiculous, Megan, the whole thing. I will talk to you behind the scenes. I will give you everything I got. But I'm telling you, I saw the card processing. I saw the emails proving that everything is going back to Farrah. And I heard the phone call where Farrah was told it takes 2 to 7 business days. And that was this last week.
Has anybody talked to OG this morning?
Yeah, she messaged me. But she was up really late last night and she's been sick the last week, so.
Here's a question I have, okay? Are we missing a point here that it seems as though OG did try to scam Farrah out of thousands of dollars? Are we missing that? And you notice how I keep throwing stuff out for both sides, right? Because I don't want you to believe one side or another. I want you guys to think about everything. But, if there is this huge refund going back to Farrah, so it's right that OG did try to scam her out of money. But they're glossing over that by saying, no, she is getting the money back. She is getting the money back. I saw it take 7 to 10 business days or whatever. But she did do it. And if she hadn't gotten caught, do you think she would have reversed it to go back to Farrah? No. This is delicious.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember, now that you say that, I remember something, but I didn't know that it was Farrah, maybe?
Yeah. I just wanted you guys to know I was live. I forgot to tell you guys, Joyce. No, I'm not bringing Blue into it in terms of, like, everything. I'm just saying, like, this is not the... And Blue got to keep the money, but Farrah was sending OG small amounts of money, so much a week, that they flagged and they started to freeze the money, and they were going to have to hold the money for really, like, a while to figure things out. So Florida man showed an invoice of $30,000 last night, and OG kept getting asked for an invoice because they were trying to prove that Farrah owed her this money. So she and Farrah talked, and Farrah and her agreed they would make an invoice that was like an arbitrary number but high, so that way this problem again. And Farrah went and told everybody that the invoice was OG trying to scam her out of money because she used her wedding business. But OG doesn't have the double charges, Florida man.
Okay, I'm gonna call OG really fast. Mal, honey,
Do that.
just remember, right? How do I say this nicely, right? And I hate to say this. I hate to say this because I think of one person when I say this, right?
Yep.
This is an app, honey.
It is.
Right?
But
These people in general are not real.
Oh,
I
Megan.
know
I'll call you out
we
for that in a
learn
minute.
to love other people on this app and we get hurt when others get hurt, but I see you are upset, Mal.
It's okay. Like I'm a little bit frustrated at myself because I know I've done this to OG before. And when she could show me the proof in real time last night, I'm the one that told her, I don't think you should go live until you have everything together. Because if you go live and you're fumbling around, everyone's going to take it as, oh, she's trying to prove. So if you get everything...
Megan, I think more than most people on here, you can agree that it is not just an app for some of these effing psychos. Because if it was just an app, everything would stay on this app. I mean, as Megan knows, people take a lot of stuff off this app, which is ridiculous. I mean, people have freaking called CPS on her 3 times, 2 times. I've had shit done to me in real life. Tons of people have had stuff done in real life. So no, unfortunately, if it was just an app, there would be a lot of us that would be having a blast on this app.
And she paid extra to have all that fucking shit overnighted too.
I'm calling OG. I'll talk to you later, honey.
Okay.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. So y'all are expecting OG to respond in real fucking time, but I think y'all need to realize this is somebody that a couple days ago OG sat on this app and said they talked every fucking day. They sat on the phone for hours every day and talked about everything from personal life to what was going on. Does anybody else forget that she sat on a live and said that? And Florida Man, you're the one that says talk to all sides, get all the proof, but you didn't talk to OG. I'm really disappointed in you. And you want to sit here and say I'm giving the hate people like fodder to come for, but you sat there on a live last night and you disregarded your own talk to people behind the scenes. Don't come on the app and bring it here. So when Ferris sent you all those messages last night, did you try to contact OG and have a conversation with her?
It's a celebration!
Or did you just take those text messages and put them on a screen? Have you heard the phone calls? I'm not being manipulated, Florida Man.
No, he's trying the gaslighting routine.
I just think it's really sad that everybody sat there last night and turned on somebody without seeing any more of the proof. And I think what's really fucking sad.
What did I say? Don't believe everything Florida Man says.
Of this have been getting attacked the last week.
He'll say one little part that's true, but he'll make up a lot of bullshit. Now, I have not heard OG's
no, not
reasons.
Everybody did, but a lot of people did.
So I'm going to hold off my opinion.
What's saddest of all...
Right, now she cares about proof, right?
What's really fucking sad is this is the person who's been getting a lot of passive-aggressive comments from somebody that sits near you. And who told you specifically before that she weaponizes you and threatens to have people go after you.
It's weird. I was getting some passive-aggressive comments thrown at me yesterday, too, in somebody's live. Must be going around.
Bougie's done a lot to tear people down. And you've got people in your inner circle, people outside your inner circle who don't agree with things she's doing, and they're fucking afraid to speak up because of you.
Mm-hmm. What for? How long have we been saying they're all dirty over there? Jesus.
And it's not one person telling me. Last night was to make sure people don't listen to her. You don't have to agree
Absolutely.
with
It's just me. 100%.
that. You really don't.
She was a box hoe just like the rest of them,
I know
jumping
what I've
in
heard
and
I know
out.
what people have told me.
Jumping in and out of boxes, you know, sticking up for Florida man. Florida man, at the end of the day.
She was going to have you drag people.
So it's all good. Everything's all good. Unless it's against you or somebody that you want to stick up for. So anything he does is okay, but as soon as it's somebody that you kind of like, or somebody that you are not sticking up for them for the right reason, you're sticking up for them because you didn't stick up for them one time before.
It didn't matter that this woman went live with as many receipts as she showed, and people still didn't believe her, even though she had all the receipts to prove otherwise, right?
I'm guilty.
Yeah, so I can see where she may be
This is somebody in the box
skeptical on
named
even
Flip Flop.
going live and showing receipts, because probably in her mind, she's probably thinking it doesn't matter how many receipts she's going to show, these people are going to believe what they're going to believe.
For real? Sorry. Mallory, she only refunded my card. Thought she didn't refund anything. Yeah, did you tell her to use her mom's social security number to make a thing when payments failed? No, she didn't refund it today, Farrah. I heard the phone call with you on the phone with the card processing company. And they were explaining to you that it wouldn't come back in a lump sum. It would come back line item by line item. And I have the text messages of you asking. Things started to mess up and OG shit was freezing. Allegedly, Farrah told her to use like her mom's social security number to try to bypass things.
And
Like
also
with
to
making new accounts and shit.
To address one way only, where it says OG and Queen Witch did scam people last Thanksgiving too, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was that not just like a complete misunderstanding?
Yeah, it was.
Like OG helped Queen Witch, not knowing that somebody else had already helped Queen Witch.
Sunshine actually came out
Oh,
and admitted
we're
that
throwing
she didn't have
everybody under
anything.
the bus today.
Right.
Everybody line up. All the deplorables, please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up.
So
Line up. You're about to get thrown to the wolves. Who's next? We got Bougie. We got Florida Man. We got OG. We got Mallory.
Talk
Who else? Come on.
I definitely will be speaking.
All the deplorables, please stand
when
up.
I get out of work,
Please stand
or
up.
when Big Boss Man leaves.
So one thing I'm gonna say is to everybody demanding that OG just get on
Queen
here
Witch,
and
yeah.
prove everything. I need y'all to remember, this is a woman that OG said for the last few months she's been talking on the phone with like every day. This is somebody she shared a lot of her life with. And last night she got accused of never giving a shit about Farrah. After she sat on a live the other day and told you all how much she loves Farrah and that Farrah's her girl. I've heard her praise Farrah to hell and back. And y'all say Farrah isn't feeling well. OG's not well either. Y'all know she went to the she's gone to the doctors multiple times this week or in the last few weeks because she barely can breathe, right?
But to sit there and say that she's using it as an excuse is wild.
But then
Because people
say
who
that
know her
nobody
on the
can
back end
question.
know for a fact.
Yeah, and then say nobody can question Farrah because Farrah's. OG has been showing Farrah so much fucking love. And you all want OG to come on here and provide all this proof. But y'all need to realize she's grieving a friend too. OG didn't just get accused of something last night. She lost somebody that she thought was a real fucking friend. Yeah, I know you were. Okay, you can make all the hate accounts you want. I really don't care. Yeah, Breezy. And Farrah knew about it because Farrah was on the phone call when they explained that it wouldn't come back in one lump sum. It was going to come back line item by line item. I heard the call. No personal details in it, but I heard the processing company explaining to Farrah after Farrah asked a question. Because she asked, where's my 6,000 blah, blah, blah money? And like, when will I get that? And they explained it to her. And in the emails that I've seen, it specifically says 2 to 7 business days. And those emails were sent Thursday. Actually, OG told Farrah not to pay her, and Farrah insisted she pay OG as her personal assistant.
That needs to stop getting thrown in her face.
Yep. But Farrah was sending the payments in small batches, so the credit card processing company or whatever flagged it because it looked suspicious. And I don't know if somebody got in Farrah's ear or what, but it got twisted into, it got flagged because OG was scamming. She was giving her the money because they had an agreement. She was buying nails, and she was paying to have those overnighted, by the way. But she was also paying for OG services.
So
7 to 10 is normal.
what exactly did
I said,
OG
like,
do?
when I saw those messages, I said, well, she's not even going to get it until Monday at the earliest because
So-
the messages came Thursday.
What Mike had made a comment that OG became Farrah's assistant for I don't know what, but Mike did say OG made one doctor's appointment for her, for Farrah, but it was like 4 hours away and she couldn't go to it because it was so far. And according to him, Farrah said, I don't even think she knew what she was doing. What?
Pick random dollar amounts so my accountant doesn't question it. The $30,000 invoice was because the payment card processing company was asking OG for an invoice to prove that Farrah owed her money. So she and Farrah agreed that they would create an invoice so that it would cover things for a while.
What? That makes no sense. That's weird.
Grim Reaper, that's what it looks like. So wait, OG did the services and now Farrah wants
Actually,
to back.
Gina lied about a lot. You should ask Gina about court. Florida Man's talked about that too. Florida Man's talked about how Gina ended up in court for some fraudulent shit.
Oh, we threw somebody else
TV
under there
producer
now.
lied to a lot of us in the name of Gina.
Somebody else gets thrown under now. Woo!
Honestly, Gina was a lot like OG. Gina liked to give. Gina, when she could. Gina did that.
Remember, as a kid, used to go to the arcades, and they always had that arcade where you got that long pew pew, and it was like a country setting, and there'd be like whiskey bottles and cans and little woodland creatures that had a target on it. And, you know, you lined up your thing and you got so many attempts to knock everything down. Like, this is what it's all about right now. It's like they're just throwing everybody in there to get knocked down. Everybody. Ugh. It's the Pew Pew Gallery.
Phone, all of the mess.
I know how much Chris's client.
Oh.
are paying him, and like I understand a lot more now. I saw where, because everything was frozen, Chris had to refund a client so they would get the money back and cut him a check.
And I agree, Shannon, but like I said earlier when I first got up in this box, is that people need to understand for a year, no matter how many screenshots this woman had, however many receipts she had, whenever somebody would say something, she would start a live right away and come back and debunk what this person is claiming. And that never mattered. Nobody ever listened to her because their minds were already made up.
People in the comments are saying this isn't the first time that Farrah's done this. If anybody has proof of Farrah doing this before, can you please send that to me? Number one.
Yes,
number
I did.
two,
Hot
there
pink.
was a comment made.
Next
dump comes. It's not only OG. If you're going to try to drag who I think you're going to try to drag into this, you should be really fucking careful. I'm going to get very fucking defensive. And I have all the proof that I've had a lot of transparency with that person before any of the fucking accusations were made.
Right, Georgie. Remember, like I said, okay, regardless, I'm still not quite sure what happened with this OG situation. The number is sus of how much Florida Man says. I think money was given to OG. I don't know if she tried to steal money from Farrah. I don't know. Something definitely happened. Okay. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny now how Mallory wants receipts? I want receipts. Do you have receipts on this? I want receipts. If you have receipts, send them. Really? Again, why is that? Why is it, when you were sitting on Florida Man's left leg bouncing up and down, why is it then you didn't ask for receipts? But now you want receipts? This is why these people can't be taken seriously anymore. When you have a different set of rules for one person than you do for everybody else, you're a joke. And everybody sees exactly what you do.
Farrah did this to Natalie the scammer.
Exactly.
What?
Exactly. Hypocrisy.
Does anybody have proof of that? Listen, if anybody can send me proof.
Send proof.
Now you want proof.
Like, I need proof before I'm going to stand on anything. And the reason that I'm coming on here and standing on this is because, you're welcome, Katie. The reason I'm coming, I've seen the live where Gina kept buying it and asking OG to give her more, like, opportunities to buy more spots for people because
that wasn't the Christmas wreath. That wasn't even a Christmas wreath. Okay. That was the Halloween wreath.
What was the Christmas wreath? I don't remember a Christmas wreath. I remember a Halloween.
The only thing I can think of is the cardinal wreath, maybe, that she did for Liz.
The only person that had an issue with the wreaths was Gina. And so it would have had to have been the Halloween, not the Christmas. And I've seen the proof that Gina was, like, begging OG to open spots up so that OG could have more people in it. Just kept buying spot after spot after spot.
And I was going to say, yeah, she kept doing that. And I took a shower. I think I went and took a shower. And by the time I came back, she had already bought all the spots.
Yeah. Leslie, she was up most of the night last night. I will say that.
She's not okay. Honestly, she's not okay.
Sarah did it to Nat. She also did it to someone named Jess like 1 to 2 years ago. Girl, why you not gonna tell me that before this? You know me. You should have come to me. Sorry, that was a text message I got from somebody. I know she's in here. Girl, I would have listened to you fucking months ago.
Yeah.
Okay, you might have forgotten about it. I'll forgive you for that. I'll forgive you.
Okay, I just have one thing to say about in the comments already. One way only, just so you know, Gina won all those court cases. I was in those court cases. Mm-hmm. She won none of them.
Didn't Gina get something for fraudulent?
Which Gina are they talking about? Which Gina are they're not talking about Reds, are they? Oh, different Gina? Okay, a Gina. Okay. Okay, thank you, Sammy. This is, I'm telling you. One of my favorite Christmas stories is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And one that we've all seen as kids, you know, the last picture is little kids, they're all the brothers and sisters all snuggled up in like a really big bed with like, you know, a Christmas comforter and pillows, and they're all laying on their back asleep, and they have smiles on their face, and they're holding candy canes and stuff like that. You know, dreaming of the next day. That's how I'm going to sleep tonight. That's how I'm going to sleep tonight. That's how I'm going to sleep. I'm going to fall asleep with a smile on my face. So, things to watch out for to try to get more clarity. Number one, will OG come on and show her receipts? Because as I said, I'm sure there's some truth to what Florida Man said. I'm sure there's some truth to what Mallory is saying. But I'd like to see all the proof before. I think something happened. I think money was sent to her. I think something shady happened. Who the hell knows what? But again, Monster, shit. You didn't do your research. Florida Man, you didn't do your research, man. So you are responsible for the fact that Farrah lost money. You're responsible for the fact that people sent OG money. Because again, you didn't do your research. And since you've had this information for 2 weeks and you didn't let anybody know about it until last night, then you are personally responsible for people sending money to OG when she was lying about it. And remember, guys, I'm saying that because that's exactly what Monster said when I was pretty much ambushed in Truth's box, when I was asked to go up there. Monster said that I'm responsible that Stacy lost money to Guardians of Valor because I platformed Guardians of Valor. And I should have known what he was capable of doing. So again, I look forward to Monster either going live and saying, I was wrong to say that about Scammy because she didn't know what was going on with Guardians of Valor. And she's not responsible for somebody losing money. Or she could go on and say, Florida Man, you are a rat bastard because you knew about this for 2 weeks. And since you found out about it, people were still sending her money. So which one is it going to be, Monster? let's see who's going to end up going back to Florida Man's Lives and his boxes. Because there will be a division now. There will be a division, whether it's people that agree with Mallory and, believe what OG is doing and saying, which again, I don't know, because I think we need to wait and see how everything kind of works out. But if indeed, Florida Man just blatantly flat out lied about a majority of this, just to trash OG as much as possible, and it comes out that indeed that's what he's doing when he knows the truth, I mean, obviously that's deplorable, but I mean, it's not a reach for him. He reaches those lows on a daily basis. And he's done it to a lot of people. So, people can't cry victim when it happens to them. But yet they stood around while he did it to tons of other women. But it will be interesting to see what happens. Who's going to go back over there? How's it going to get spun? Who is Florida Man going to start going after now for deflection? Because it sounds as though he may have screwed up this whole OG thing. Who's he going to go after now? Right, and he didn't answer it. Florida Man did not answer where's the GoFund money. Because remember, first it was $700, and all people would send her is $200 after over a week. Again, not for nothing, but I collected $1,680 in less than 8 hours. But, I'm not bragging. So, 200 in about a week. And then all of a sudden he says, I will match up to 250. And then miraculously, after he made that claim, somebody anonymously donated 250. So it's been at 250. And then Florida Man says, okay, well, Jen is going to get $500. 250 from the people that donated, and he's going to match it 250 plus 250 is $500. And then all of a sudden, Florida Man is reimbursing everybody that gave money to the GoFundMe for Jen. Now, why is that? Why the fuck is he reimbursing everybody all of a sudden? I mean, people said to me, well, you're doing theft by fraud because you said your GoFundMe was for a PI, but then you changed it for a reward. What the fuck? No. Yeah, obviously, those people didn't hear my lives where I stated that it was changed and it was written like that on the GoFundMe. But that was a problem. But nobody over there has a problem that he is supposedly reimbursing everybody who donated to the GoFundMe, and he's just sending Jen $250, which I do think is a pile of crap. Because number one, he has no money, and the only money he does have is Andy's money from the store he burglarized and has been selling cards along his travels so he could buy himself some Burger King. And, it made me laugh because Florida Man was giving out really bad tax advice a couple of days ago about 1099s and, well, you should send FWA a 1099 so you can, claim the money that you sent her. That's not how it works, dumbass. Anybody who listens to that fool. But here's my question about this. Florida Man, are you going to claim $100,000 income this year? He told people to start calling the IRS on people. Why? I don't know. But yeah, he's all about, oh, well, if you think that somebody's there, are you going to file that you had a windfall of $100,000 this year, if not more, because there's the whole incident up in Michigan too. Are you going to claim $100,000 in income? That's what I want to know. If you cut the head off of the snake, the body of the snake is going to die. When you cut the head off a snake, you can still get bit by a snake because there's still some electrical current, some muscle twitching, all that kind of stuff. But you know what happens over a short amount of time? The body dies and the head dies. People need to smarten up. Wow, it only took Mallory, 5, 6, 7 months from when she hated Florida Man for what he did to her to all of a sudden he's okay with Florida Man, and now she's not okay with Florida Man. Leopards don't change their spots. These people are ridiculous. Mystical, I don't even know what that's all about. I have no clue what that's all about. Yep. I think London, the initial incision has been made. I've said it a million times before. Just let them talk. Let them talk. Let them say what they're going to say, because chances are there's going to be something that they say that they said the opposite of just a little while ago. It's okay for them to do it, but it's not okay for everybody else to do it. What up, Breeze?
Hi, Scammy. I just wanted to say I'm loving this, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope they see now that not only does this man definitely Cartel was right, keep files on every one of them
Absolutely. Burn
to
files.
fight against
Absolutely.
them.
He's got dirt on
But
everybody over there.
oh, for sure. But he does not give a damn about any of them. He pushed Jen, a known scammer, onto them. Had told them to send her money and
Yep.
buy her gifts.
And
Put her
yep,
in dirt
go.
boxes.
Yep. Give her money for the send money to the GoFundMe. Buy stuff off
Uh-huh.
of her wish list. Send her
Yeah.
money for groceries.
Message her for support.
Yep.
And then when they speak up to say, we feel emotionally manipulated, we feel taken advantage of because that's what she's doing, that's what she does,
Yep.
he invalidates them to say, oh, no, that's not what it is. That's just you looking at her through a different lens.
Yep.
Y'all are just, you're conditioned to think that way. So he invalidates their feelings on it. So he don't care about them. He cares about how he can use each one of them. And with Jen, it's against you and his hate campaign.
Yep.
He cares about none of them. And I hope they're starting to see that, maybe, but I don't know.
I don't know either, but you know what? I really wish people that support terrible people on this app. Okay, and I'm not just saying him. There's a lot of people on this app that believe everything that some people say, which is why I say listen to all of it, make your own fucking decision. Because I could care less. I could see something one way, somebody could see it another way, and that's fine. But you know what? When you hear somebody talking and it's their own words, listen to it and make your decision. I hope everybody over in Florida Man's Lives finally grows a pair of balls and will start asking questions and start calling people out. start calling people out for their behavior on this app. And it's a lot of people over there, not just Florida Man.
Mm-hmm.
Not
And
just
I'm
Florida
not a
Man.
big fan of Mallory, but she is right in part that, he, like he said, he knew about this since the 7th. He wasn't going to probably say anything about it until she started sitting and smash his box. And that made them upset because they were upset about it the other night.
Right,
And
I
then he
remember
had
that.
a reason to go after her.
Well, the other thing was, as he said, in his own words, it was all about going after OG because OG kept talking about Jen and bringing up the Jen situation. So he tied his fucking carriage to the wrong horse, being Jen.
Oh, yeah, and that's going to backfire too.
Absolutely. Because it always does with her.
Mm-hmm.
The Midas touch turns things to gold, but whatever she's a part of turns to crap. Look how many groups that she's blown out of because she is who she is.
Yep. She's always been that way. And, I thought they were starting to see that, which I think they are. But, he just straight up invalidated all of their feelings on that the other night. And some of them, yeah, they flip flop right back around to his lap, oh, yeah, she's, but I think deep down they know, that they're right about her. But
And how do we
he's going
know
to keep
that?
pushing her on them.
How do we know that if without anybody saying it? Very simply, a GoFundMe for over a week and people only sent in $200.
Oh, yeah.
If people really believed her and supported her, she would have made that money in a couple days.
Yep. And I want to see the receipts that he sent not only everybody's money back, just like you showed, but that he sent her $250 of his own money.
Yep.
Because I think if anybody sends her money, it should be him because he's the one who pushed her on him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Well, thank you, Scammy. I'll be in the comments.
Take care, Breeze. Thanks. So there it is, folks. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of lives on throughout the day today. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of talk about this. My suggestion is listen to everything. Come up with what you think is the truth. Because there's still unanswered questions and there's still a lot of balls in play here. There's still a lot of balls in the air on this. But am I going to lie and say I don't love this? I love this. Exactly, Breezy. Exactly. 100%. So it'll be interesting to see who Florida Man goes after now to deflect this whole thing. Is he going to start going after Mallory again? Is he going to start doxing family members of hers? Is he going to start going after OG? I have a really hard time with people who have sat with him and who support him. And then when they don't, they come off like they're being all righteous. Why? Because now he's going after somebody that they're friends with. Or going after somebody that they wronged in the past. And they're trying to make it right. Exactly. And I've been saying it for a long time. I know Scam used to say it a lot. A lot of people have said it. Everybody's okay with it when he's going after me or Scam or Holly Mae or any number of people. They're okay with it until it happens and it affects them. And then it's not okay. And this, my friends, is a little dose of karma. And with that, I'm getting off of live because I want to finish my wrapping. Lots of interesting things, though. People that are going to go on, I would watch. If Florida Man goes live again, watch from the outside. If Mallory's still on, listen to her. I'm sure Amanda's going to have to get her 2 cents in. Maybe Jen will make an appearance and, lie about other stuff. Maybe OG will be in a box somewhere. It's very interesting. But it is shaping up. It could be a very long day and a long night on the Tickety Talk streets. So I want to thank my mods. Thank you very much for watching the chat. Everybody that came in here, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the gifts. I'll tell you, since I was sick last week, I didn't get a chance to go to and bring food to the pantry, which pisses me off. But there's like over $200, and when January comes around, we need to find a good organization to send that money to. And of course, I'll show all the receipts. Sammy, I just got a message to come in here that I was being lied on. Who was talking? I think Mal. I was streaming Mal. I was streaming Mal. Wasn't Mallory talking about Gina? Yeah, it wasn't me. I was streaming them. And I asked who Gina was. Because there's somebody over there that was known as Jenna. Some people called her Gina. I didn't know which one it was. So, yeah. But thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. But no, Mallory was speaking on you. So listen, guys, have a wonderful afternoon and a wonderful evening. And keep your eye on the streets because it's going to be crazy on Toxic Talk. So have a great afternoon, everybody. Thank you.